Welcome back to another weekly run-up of cloud gaming news brought to you by yours truly. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cloud gaming, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. And of course, if you enjoy the content, give the video a like, it helps the channel out a lot. But for now, let's get into this week's cloud gaming news. Kicking things off with Stadia, who this week have announced 10 new titles which will be coming to the platform as part of their Makers program. The Makers program was created in partnership with Unity to support independent studios. So just a heads up that, that implies these aren't multi-million-dollar budget AAA titles, but any influx of new games to the Stadia library is a positive in my book. So far, only 2 of the titles have confirmed release dates, which are The Dark Side Detective, A Fumble in the Dark, which sounds a little bit like a review of my performance in the bedroom, but this one arrives first on April 15th, followed by 100 Days Winemaking Simulator, because apparently we're turning everyday activities into simulators now. So this one's confirmed for May 13th. I'll throw up the remaining titles here, which all have a release date of summer, fall, or just listed as coming soon. But we have Foreclosed, Figment 2 Creed Valley, Grime, The Dreams Elsewhere, Merrick's Market, Death Carnival, and the final 2 out of this list which piqued my interest. The first one, Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch, and Sky Climbers, which I've already been sucked into the marketing of this one, and I'm actually a Kickstarter backer. Recommend people check this out. Really excited to see this one come to Stadia. But of course I want to hear from you. What do you think of this list? Let me know in the comments down below. Next, and arguably the winners of this week's cloud gaming news, ladies and gentlemen, Xbox has done it again. They just keep improving and increasing the value of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and Xcloud without touching the price. Just watch me jinx that one. Firstly, last week we talked about 16 nostalgic Xbox and Xbox 360 titles that were added to Xcloud, and I was particularly impressed that they added touch controls to 2 of those titles. Since I mentioned it's not just generic on-screen buttons that they add, they make bespoke buttons and layouts for each individual title. Well, this week they've gone 2 titles. That's cute, hold my beer. And I've actually added touchscreen controls to over 50 existing Xcloud titles. 54 titles to be exact, including Sea of Thieves, Gears 5, Dragon Quest, Hello Neighbor, and Killer Instinct, just to name a few. In their announcement post, Microsoft states, touch controls remain one of the top requested features for cloud gaming to unlock new ways to play on your Android mobile devices without the need for an external controller. Which makes sense because one of the benefits of Xcloud that I've always talked about is those moments where you hadn't planned on playing games. Maybe you're out and about, waiting in a line, sitting in a car. You don't have a controller with you, but you want to bust out some games. Following this up with even more good news, after being removed from Game Pass almost a year ago, GTA 5 returns to Xbox Game Pass this week and comes to Xcloud this time around. This includes the base game of GTA and also online, so you can now take your heists on the go.
I can't do a heist. Heist is a crime.
Next, here's a service we don't talk about too often. After reviewing PlayStation Now 2 years in a row now, I personally remain unimpressed, and I'm just waiting for Sony to properly play their cloud gaming hand. And unfortunately, this month is no exception with April's additions to the PlayStation Now service. This month they added Marvel's Avengers and Borderlands 3, both arguably pretty good titles. However, both titles have received PlayStation 5 upgrades, but that's not the version which is available on PlayStation Now. Which is no surprise really, with the PlayStation Now architecture receiving no real attention since 2013. I wouldn't expect them to be able to stream PlayStation 5 quality titles, but as we get further and further into this generation of console, the service is going to growingly alienate the players who bought into next gen. Equally as annoying, I've pointed this out about the service before, the rotation of these high quality games. Both of these are relatively short-lived on the PlayStation Now platform, with Avengers leaving on July 5th and Borderlands saying bon voyage on September 29th. Next, a slightly backwards but still a good move from Amazon Luna. This week they've added 720 resolution support. But you may be asking, isn't that worse than the existing 1080 resolution? And to that I say, congratulations, you sir know your numbers. Of course, with this one, the ability to reduce the quality of games to stream in 720 allows for players with lower internet speeds to still enjoy fluid gameplay without stutters caused by trying to stream a higher quality image. This of course also helps players whose internet providers believe we live in a totalitarian dystopia and impose data caps on their users. in 2021. Data caps. For shame, sir. But to round off this week's cloud gaming news, we have 12 new titles added to GeForce Now, which of course I'll throw up on screen here. The majority of these we were already aware of from the start of the month roadmap, which we covered last week. However, we do have 2 day-and-date releases with Aaron's Adventure and The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. Plus the entire Stronghold franchise has now been added to GeForce Now, which coincidentally the entire franchise is currently on sale on Steam. But that's it from me this week. Let me know your highlights of this week's cloud gaming news, but if you enjoyed the video, you found it somewhat helpful, a like rating would be appreciated. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next video. Hope everyone's staying safe out there, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.